watch the quick intro. I'm gonna introduce you here in a second, but Brock was traditionally got, I guess, fell into the trap of being stuck in the traditional IMO, where he was told to rely on his leader, buy the leads, and basically drink the Kool-Aid. And you're gonna kind of hear his story. So I guess, Brock, before you kind of go into it, I think, start this video off is just important. Like, how bad did things get? It's okay to be vulnerable. Like, what did life look like for you in the past, like, 12 months of after, you thought this is the industry that makes the most amount of millionaires, but what did it actually do for you?
Yeah, so I was always caught up in a big lie thinking I was making money when I really wasn't. I was just never really tracking my numbers, but I was just getting deposits into my bank account like I've never experienced before. So I thought I was making money. So for the first 12 months, I thought I was making money, but it wasn't. And I started to realize it when my debt was slowly growing and I was paying it down and growing and paying it down and growing and paying it down until it got up here around year and 2 months, 3 months. And so for the past 12 months, I've just been trying to, a big struggle of mine was taking care of my credit bills, writing business, paying regular bills. And then at one point it just slipped recently. So
Yeah. And I think it got down to the point where, like, you were like almost like $20,000-$30,000 for the debt. Did it get to that point, you think, from just, you know, I guess as people just being, dishonest to you? Is that kind of where you felt in yourself, or how bad did it get? I know I had a TikTok video that you were like sleeping in your car and stuff. Where did you actually, like, how dark did it get?
yeah, it got really bad. I kept pushing because I didn't want to give up, because I put so much work and dedication and grit into this that I didn't want to just end it all. It's like killing your baby, you know what I mean? So I kept pushing it. And so my credit cards overall, among like 3 or 4 of them, reached close to 27,000, some other stuff. And I couldn't pay my apartment bill, so they evicted me and I had to sleep in my car. And that's where I've been living the past 3 months, which sucks really bad, but I'm optimistic. I did get a job with housing, so that's good.
Awesome. And I think I don't think a lot of people talk about this in the MLM trap, I'd say, is like they make this stigma that it's all on you. Do they, like, it's like it has to be you, and they make you feel bad almost. It's almost like a, what is that called? Like blacklisting you, or they if you ever bring up any other issue, it's like, no, dude, it's all you. Don't even say anything like that. Is that kind of how you felt?
It's so stupid. And like
Yeah.
after I made that video, I've been doing a lot of research on MLMs
Mhm.
and like their cult mentality. And when I was doing research, I'm like, that's what they did. That's what they did. And one thing I thought was really funny was, I've been to 7 different business overview meetings. I've been to the conventions. And what they'll do is they'll get online and it'll be some guy from like wherever. He'll be like, look at me, look at where I came from. If I can do this, you can do this. Anybody can do this. And everybody's like, yes. And then you get into it, and then your credit card debt starts going like this. And then what they'll tell you is, well, you just didn't work hard enough. It's not for everybody. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what they did.
And tell people how much you did work. I want you to be like, you did probably everything that you did sell. Even you had some success. You probably sold, you were selling policies. Like,
Mhm.
you weren't just like an agent that was like, not actually achieving things. Like, how much were you submitting in a month? And like, what was like some of the metrics and things that you did actually do?
My average was around 20,000 a month.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say I was like the best salesman
Yeah.
on like the life insurance salesman, but I was definitely above average. In my Slack group, I would see a ton of people come in and a bunch of people go out. And like, I was putting up numbers in my Slack group like almost daily. And like, people would reach out to me and be like, you're doing a good job, all this kind of, like, I was actually putting in the work. I was doing the activity. I was doing what I was supposed to do. And one thing I know about myself, Peter, is I'm really good at following instructions and working really hard and doing a good job.
Mhm.
And so that's just exactly what I did. And if I try to do anything that they weren't telling me to do, I would just get an hour-long lecture on the phone call from my upline saying, you need to sell bigger premium. You need to sell more of this company. You need to do all these different things. Put no on every health question on. Just get more applications through. Do like just stuff I
Wow.
wasn't supposed to do. It was insane.
Yeah. The last thing was the ethical standard. No one has ethics. And what are like some things now where, if like you could say, if someone came to you and like, dude, how do I know I'm in an MLM? What are like how would you know you're in this like trap? Like, what would be some like signs?
Yeah. So like I said earlier, if they're saying like anybody can do this, anybody can do this, and then you get into it and you're losing money, and then they're like, you just didn't work hard enough, that's a red flag. Um, just MLM mentality. If like everybody around you is like, if you just have a weird feeling in your heart and in your stomach that like something's going on, but like everybody's like living this lie, like if you just get that sense, be weary and do a little bit more research. If they're um, this company makes money off of you before you even get a chance to make any money for yourself. So there's a reason that they're doing what they're doing. So you got to be careful of that as well. So if you're paying the company money, be wary of that as well.
Yeah.
MLM.
Would you say that there's like a product that, I think a lot of people don't realize this, and you can attest. Most MLM models don't make money off production. It's not an insurance business. It's a lead vending business. And is that what she experiences? Like, you realize looking back, it's like, damn, they just made thousands and thousands of dollars of me buying their leads. Is that what you experienced?
Yeah, that's exactly what I experienced. And it's so annoying because on Glassdoor or something on the reviews, they'll answer bad reviews and be like, well, we don't force you to do anything. We have a bunch of different lead vendors that you can buy from. Well, I've been to 7, like I put a lot, like I wanted this. So I went to like business overviews, I paid attention, took notes, and they had an hour-long segment about their leads and why you should buy them.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a whole presentation promoting their leads. And I would also go into the offices that they allow you to go into, and, top producers, and like, you look up to these people. They're very sophisticated and you're like, this guy's huge in this industry. Like I'm going to listen to this guy. And they say, buy the CRM leads. And so you just do. And ultimately that's literally where all of my debt came from.
Mm-hmm. All from those how can I say? Yeah, just buying their leads. It just, you realize, because it's almost like, what I see is people, I have this conversation, people are like, dude, I don't know why I'm not making money. It's like, even if you do make some money, you will make a little bit of money, but you'll get deposits in your bank account, but at the end, the net will never, you probably were like, dude, where the heck is my money every month? Is probably how you felt, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so weird what was going on in my brain. It's just like the fact, because I left the restaurant industry and I was getting big deposits in my bank account. Like I'd see $1,200, $900, $1,300. I'd be like, this is crazy,
Yeah.
So, but this is my first entrepreneurship uh, um, endeavor. So I didn't really have, nobody told me to track my numbers. Nobody taught me about taxes. Nobody told me to pay attention to my expenses. So I was just kind of all over the place, and I really messed up really bad.
Yeah. And I think for you, just even for encouragement for me, what I've seen, and just advice for me to use since we just met, is like, dude, you're still so young. Like, you have a whole life ahead of you. And I think some of the most valuable lessons that we take are come at the expense of ourselves. And I think, like, looking back, you'll be able to get through this. I personally, anybody on this channel that wants to help, help you, dude, because like, for you to even be courage, it's funny. I've came out about this when I left my IMO, you came about this, and they've become so big and almost like monopoly in this industry, where they actually will like try to sue you for basically, and you're not even doing anything wrong. You're just saying the truth. Like, you have evidence and data, and there's not even a lie. They accuse you of doing something wrong when you literally are just sharing what happened to you. Like, how does that make you feel? Yeah.
Discouraged, deceived. I
Yeah.
feel like horrible people. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? Are you serious right now? Their lawyer sent me 2 emails saying, if you continue to do this, we're going to sue you. Like, are you joking me, dude? Like, look
Yeah.
at where I'm at because of what you told me to do, and you're going to do that
Yeah.
to me. It's insane.
And I think it's important. You guys can probably watch this video and you can be like, dude, this person's like BSing, like completely lie. Compared to you, like, you just generally wanted to help people and actually just provide for your family and do well for yourself in the future. And it seems like in this industry, would you say the people that are like the least educated, or the people who want the most, or like, want the rah stuff, like, they're taking the most advantage of? You think like they prey on desperate people? Is that kind of what this industry does for most?
I think the industry thrives on economic downclines like COVID-19 or inflation, like people that don't really have critical thinking when they're in a pinch for money. So they go after those kind of people. So you just don't really think things through, and you go to these conferences and everybody's all hyped up. Everybody's making money, and you're like, this is awesome. Like, this could be for me. Like, with me, I didn't believe it. I don't believe in get rich quick schemes. Like, I'm a very hard worker. I understood that you had to put in a lot of effort to make money, and so that's what I did. But yes, I do think that they prey on certain types of people that don't have critical thinking when they want some more money.
What did your friends say, and like some of your closest, like, colleagues say to you when you left? Were they like discouraging you, or if you ever brought it up, like, how did that feel? How did it look?
I have some really good friends that are really good at this in this industry. And when I made that video, I didn't want them to see it at first. But then when they finally did, they totally agreed with me. Like, they're like, we know some, like, everybody knows there's like shady stuff going on. Like, I'm not bashing the entire industry as a whole at all. I totally believe you can make money in this industry, and I still kind of want to do it. You know what I mean? Because at this point, I've wrapped my head around it, and I know what I should do to actually make money, because I did eventually become profitable. But at first, I thought my friends were going to be critical, or not support me, but they were like, yeah, this company, like, we agree with you.
Yeah. And it's like, I guess knowing what you know now, would you go back into life insurance? And if you did, what route would you go? Because, like, let's say someone's new and they're watching this and they think about all these companies out there. Like, what would you tell them? Like, go, do the insurance industry, or like take a different path. How would you guide them?
The life insurance industry is awesome. I love it. I
Yeah.
love having clients. I have great relationships with my clients. Sometimes they just call me and we just chat it up. I've gotten coffee with some of my clients, like I used to do at home. Like, I love that stuff. I don't know about giving advice on like what company to go with, because I don't know really. I would just say be very weary of what the people that are above you are, where they're telling you to put your money. Just be wary and understand where all of your money is and where it's going.
When you brought it up to your leader, like when you're about to leave, how did they respond? Like, did they like try to keep you in the business? Were they just saying like you're crazy? Like, how did that all go down?
I'm glad you asked. Yeah. So my team. So I'm not in Arizona right now, but I've been living in Arizona, and that's where I did a lot of my business.
Mhm.
But my team was in Florida. And so after a while, I've been with them for a while, and there was this team that wanted me to go on their team because they were near me, they were my age, they were young guys, they were motivated. And I'm like, I feel like that would be better if I was around, people like me, that look like me, that are my age, that are close to me, that I can go see in person, work with, that have Zoom rooms that I can actually work with and have that accountability. I called my upline. This was a little while ago. This wasn't recently, but I called my upline. I'm like, hey, there's this team out here, they're really awesome. They have all the support that I need. Can I switch over to their team? It just seems like it would make sense. He freaked out. Like, I'm like, dude, you don't even answer the phone when I call you. Like, how are you? Like, are you crazy? I didn't let it. I haven't talked to my upline or people on my team for a while, just because honestly they just don't answer the phone. But when I left, the last policy I wrote was a month and a half ago in McDonald's lobby while I was living in my car.
Dang, dude, I just respect you for your grit of just trying to find a way, and ultimately it sounds like the leader did ruin you over. I think people don't understand too, which I'm starting to realize too, is the actual contractual hold that they have on people. Certain IMOs, like, they'll lock you in. You think about this, when they come in, they try to get you like, well, as many carriers as possible. So then what does that mean if you leave? You're locked up for 12 months and you can't go anywhere. Is that something that you realize too, and something that you got educated on too, is like the contracts and how they just lock them down?
I've definitely been learning about it. I haven't tried switching anywhere else yet, so I haven't experienced what that's like, but I've definitely heard about it.
Yeah, just even for everyone too, it's just like they'll recommend you get a lot of contracts, and they'll hold the contracts. You can't transfer contracts for about 12 months now. So I guess, like, ultimately, I just appreciate you sharing the story. We can kind of keep it straight to the point. What would be like something that you just would share, like if someone, like, ultimately you want to help people, like, what would be one thing that you want to share? I mean, we get thousands of people that watch the channel. Like, what would you want to share to someone who is trying to jump into the industry, and how could you best help them?
Sure. Go for it. Get your license. This is an awesome industry if you do it correctly. I really respect Peter a lot. I think he's very honest in his videos, and you can tell. Listen to him. I've taken a lot of his advice. Joining his Facebook group is huge. I started making money when I started generating my own leads. Going with lead vendors is okay, but you never really know what they're doing with those leads or what they're doing behind the scenes and how they're making money. Just be careful of that. The company you work with, I'm not too experienced on what different companies do. I just know my experience, and I know that the company that hired me really heavily promoted their leads, and I eventually realized they were just picking my pockets mostly than helping me make money. So just be careful of that.
Yeah. Well, Brock, thanks for joining. And ultimately, I'll have like if it's okay, put like your Instagram. If anybody on the comments want to just reach out to you and just, I don't know if that's you do. You might get a lot of DMs, but if someone can reach out to you, is it okay if they do find a way to message you?
Yeah, a lot of people
Okay.
message me, and I love helping people.
Cool.
I think having conversations with people and sharing my experience is awesome. So my Instagram is at brock.kitchen, BROCK.KITCHIN. It's the same on Facebook if you don't have Instagram.
And you have the TikTok video where everyone should probably watch it. Is it the same, your same person, last name?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Or just look up like MLM insurance. I'm sure it's the first video that comes out, right?
Yeah, it's pretty
Cool,
big.
man. Yeah, well, thank you so much, dude. And ultimately, one of the things I respect about you is that you're willing to be vulnerable to help save people. And like as a man, that's really hard, especially what you've gone through, is that were like, dude, I'm tired of this. I just got chills thinking about it, man, because I know how broken down you are. I'm sure you had sleepless nights. And I have people every day that reach out to me like, Peter, dude, I can't pay my mortgage. I have 3 kids and I'm with this company. Can you help me? And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I wish I could have. And I think, think about this, Brock. I think it's something that's exciting for the viewers too. It's like if that company can build something so big and make billions of dollars doing it the wrong way, imagine what could be done the right way. Imagine how amazing that could be, So
Yeah.
there is light. And ultimately for you, dude, if there's anything I can do, like the video could be all for one, but like I just know that, like, dude, if you need anything from me, if you can't pay rent something a month, dude, reach out to me. Like, I'm being really serious. If you need anything, reach out to me. And there's ever a time where you need to jump back in this industry, I'd love to help you. And just, I think I could actually save you if that's the route that you wanted to go. We're building something right now that's going to change this industry, and it literally is on the core foundation of your story. So I just want to say thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man. Is there anything else I can do for you, or anything that you want to, I guess, share with the audience?
Yeah, I'm super appreciative of talking with you. I really respect you in this industry, so it's really cool to talk with you. And I also want to say from that video, I do take accountability for making the wrong decisions and just being an idiot and going down the wrong path without knowing. I don't want to be like, it's all their fault. It's all their fault. It's not me. It's them. Like, I hate pointing fingers. I don't want to be that guy, but I don't think they're necessarily not guilty for everything.
Yeah, it's ultimately, you were drinking the Kool-Aid. You could have stopped drinking it for sure, but ultimately, it's like in their model. If, like, for me, you have thousands and thousands of agents that are going through it. There's eventually a time where you just question the actual integrity of the business model compared to the individual. Now, I've even experienced this myself, where people are putting 30,000. I've seen their bank account; they're saying they're making 50 grand, and I've looked and they have less than $5,000. So I've seen it firsthand, and it's not just you, but I appreciate you sharing that accountability, because we don't like blaming people, but I posted a video when I seen it. Like, the model is not built for agents to make money; it's a recruiting business, and that's kind of what this comes down to. So. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for joining on here.